Grand Rising, everybody. Thank you for jumping on. Happy Business Saturday. And I say that with all my chest and all my might. Happy Business Saturday. If you are a business owner out there, hopefully you're doing the same thing that we're doing, and that is advertising our business. If you're not and you're taking a day off or taking a break, hopefully you need it. But the weekend, if you work a job and you own a business, or if you're self-employed, the weekend is not the time to take time off. That's the time to grind even harder, especially if you've been on somebody else's 9 to 5 for about 60 hours a week. That being said, this is the Blank Spot. We are a sublimation blanks and t-shirt transfer supplier located just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. And I came on today to share a couple of things with you, to remind you guys of a couple of things, those of you who are shopping with us, who are following us, and who are supporting us. Number one, our paper is on sale. Okay, our paper is on sale, 30% off. Sublimation paper is on sale, 30% off. All the packs, none of the rolls. Okay, and I did a comparison with our paper versus ASUB paper, just so you guys can see what a lot of crafters are using. And it's not your fault, but oftentimes we go with price instead of what's best, even though we ask what's best, or we actually go to one of our counterparts, some other crafter that got started, and say, hey, what are you using? And you use the popular thing. So just so you know, our paper is better, and no better way to test it for yourself than to actually go out there and do it. Let's see. We're going to continue with all of our sales that we got going on. Of course, we got our Monday through Friday sales, and then we go into the weekend. Monday to Thursday sales, we go through the weekend. But today, I'm going to talk about a couple of things. I'm going to mention real briefly the T-shirt mini starter kit. If you are new to crafting, if you're new to business, if you want to get started making T-shirts, the T-shirt mini starter kit is the one that you need to get started with. That's the way to go. Let's see. If you're on here to see me do something, then you can leave right now, because I'm not a porch monkey, and I'm not a dance monkey. I'm not somebody who's going to entertain you. So if that's what you're here for, that's not what we're doing. There's lots of craftators out there that's going to educate you on how to do something, or show you how to do something. Games, how you doing? Thanks for jumping on. That's not us. That's not what we do. However, we will show you on different occasions how to use our products and how to best apply them to your business or your operation. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, don't forget, we now carry the T-shirt measuring rules, the T-shirt guide rulers. It's 8 of them that come in a pack. You got the child, the youth, the adult, and then the V-neck, and then you got front and back. Okay, so once again, this is the Blank Spot. We're a sublimation blanks and T-shirt transfer supplier located just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. And today we're going to be talking about the benefits of owning a home-based business. A lot of y'all are running, but also a lot of y'all are struggling. So you can't run and struggle at the same time. So I'm going to share with you something that you can actually do. We're going to go on a Zoom call tonight. It's going to be a Zoom call tonight. So if you want to know how to get access to that Zoom call, go to our Facebook page. Go to our Facebook page, which is the Blank Spot. Can't miss it. Go to our Facebook page. Go look for a post. I think it's the maybe the first or the second post down. First or second post down, and you can actually comment what you're supposed to comment, and I'll send you the link. You have to register for the Zoom. We're going to be talking about some business things tonight. If you are interested in business, if you're not, you still might want to chime in there, because it's also for somebody who has a job, but you live in paycheck to paycheck. The reason why I talk about that is one reason, and one reason only. It's because that there's a lot of people out there that are complaining about the prices that's going up, the gas prices, the food prices. They're complaining about all the other things, the necessities that they need, they're going up, but you're not doing anything about it. And it's because we weren't taught to do anything about it. We were taught to be consumers. We were taught to buy. We were taught to trade time for money. And we were taught to just spend. Now in our adult years, we're learning that buying, consuming, eating up all our seeds, not understanding how to keep our money, we need to learn it. Okay, we need to learn it. And a business is one of the best ways to do that. So now you may have listened to a crafter that's a huge content creator on one of these platforms talking about, hey, you can make six figures if you buy my blueprint. What's going on, Rod? You can make six figures if you take my masterclass. If you buy my this or buy my that, you can make six figures. Well, that's a lie, but it's the truth, but it's also a lie. You could, yes. Do you have the ability, the intestinal fortitude? Do you have the capacity to learn it? Do you have the time? Will you make the time? Will you take the time? I don't know. And many of them don't care. The bottom line is, in life, we need a strategy. We need a plan. And the problem is, most people start off with no plan or not a great plan. The plan that most of us was dealt was go to school, make good grades, and get a good job. Let's be honest. I was one of them. Go to school, make good grades, go on to college, get a good job or a trade. If not, go to the military, and then you'll be able to live the American dream. Well, I don't know about you, but that American dream is turning into an American nightmare for a lot of people. And you're probably saying right now, why are you talking about this? You sell sublimation blanks and t-shirt transfers. Well, because I'm a business owner. And before we sold sublimation blanks and t-shirt transfers and other supplies, before we did that, guess what we were doing? We were building a financial education business. That's right. A lot of people don't know that. We have other businesses. We were building a financial education business where we taught and still do teach business and personal finances. We teach business building. We teach the structures and the strategies. Also, we teach that if you don't understand how to protect and keep your money, then you will lose it. So grand rising to everybody. Thank you for jumping on. I appreciate it. Some of you are already on here. That's on Facebook. Silk Key, Babs. Let's see, Darlene, Leanne. Some of you guys already got the information to lock in with us tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But we're going to go on a Zoom tonight. The information that I share is for everybody, but everybody will not receive the information. That's biblical. It's just how it is. Okay. If it's not somebody who's famous, somebody who looks good, or somebody who you like telling you, then you're going to reject it. As simple as that. A home-based business. Man, I love it because back in 2015, when we were introduced to the opportunity to stop living paycheck to paycheck, it was through a strategy of a home-based business. Why do I say a strategy? Because everybody's not going to make money in business. Everybody's not going to make those six figures. Everybody's not going to be good at selling. Everybody's not going to be good at presenting themselves. Everybody's not going to be good at creating. Everybody's not going to be patient enough. However, if you work a job in this country, and I'm in the U.S. for anybody that's outside of the U.S., if you work a job in the U.S., you still have to pay taxes. Well, you say, well, you know what? Taxes is an honor. I'm an American, and all this dumb crap that they teach you when you're young. Even in the military, they taught me that this was my duty. Well, let me tell you something. It can't just be my duty, and I see multi-millionaires and billionaires learning how to lower their taxes to the legal lowest limit. It can't just be my duty if I'm an American citizen, plus doing 22 years in the military, then all of a sudden somebody who did not serve. Come on, man. So there is a strategy out there that many of us have not learned, and some of us were never introduced to, and some of us going to continue to reject, because at the end of the day, we don't want to go back down that long road of I made some bad decisions. It's not your fault. The decisions that we made are based off of the information that we had. And at the time, the information that I had and I got from people that I trusted, that's what I had. But the great thing about life is that, like Gameson said, all things are possible. The great thing in life is that when you get new information, you have the ability to make a turn or even to turn around. You have the ability to adjust. The only thing that's stopping a lot of people from being successful in their household, successful in their lives, and also successful in their business is the fact that we are hard-headed, we're stubborn, and we're set in our ways. Or we are afraid that something's going to happen. Well, yeah, something is going to happen. You're going to continue to struggle. You're going to continue to complain about struggling, and you're going to continue to be upset and you're going to continue to look over the fence in somebody else's yard and saying, hey, how are they living so good and I'm not? So a home-based business, it can be anything. It just so happens right now we are selling sublimation blanks and t-shirt transfers to people who make sublimation blanks, t-shirt transfers, cups, bags, anything crafting related. Pretty much we sell it. A business that you're working out of your home, something that you're doing the majority of the time, and you have a separate space for your household. I mean, you got Chat GPT, you got Google AI. Look it up, what a home-based business is. But see, the most beautiful thing about a home-based business is that it sets us up in a way to where we can legally, morally, and ethically write off the things that we're going to write off anyway. Some of the expenses that we're going to have anyway, excuse me. So now you're saying, well, I already got a full-time job. I don't have time to work a business. But you got time to complain about not having enough money. We're losing ground, y'all. We're losing ground. If somebody was on here talking about how to make the next best whatever and showing you something and saying, hey, this is how you do it, you'd be praising that person up and down for not being a gatekeeper. So am I not being a gatekeeper? Or am I being a gatekeeper because I'm not telling you exactly what you want to hear? You got to make a decision. Many of you guys right now are doing something on the side, but you're not set up correctly. You haven't established anything. Being self-employed means that you work for yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can get a lot of the same deductions and a lot of the same write-offs and a lot of the same tax benefits and breaks as somebody who has an entity, a corporation. However, you want to go past that if you want more, because we just created a job for ourselves, just like we did here at the Blank Spot. Created a job for ourselves. And in order to have a business that's operating without us, we got to have a system in place and or employees that are going to be able to do that while we're not able to work. See, the one thing that does not go away ever is bills. You can pay a car note off. You can pay a credit card off. You can pay student loans off. You can pay a mortgage off. But taxes and bills are going to always remain. And I want y'all to put something in perspective. How many of you guys are here for the very first time? Type a number 1 in the comments. If you're here for the very first time, type a number 1. Got a couple number 1s up on TikTok. Leanne. We got Pinkley, A&A Cleaning, Maria. Okay. So for all of the people who are new that did not say anything, doesn't matter. I'm still say what I'm gonna say. If you have a job, that means that you are going to somebody else's establishment and you are clocking in. That means that before you get your check, somebody visits your check. The IRS. See, this is how it works, y'all. You go to work, trade time for money, right? You get taxed, and then what's left over, you get paid. I'm not talking about medical and dental and all that, and insurance if you got it coming out of your check. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about taxes. And you're probably saying, well, you know what? You have to pay taxes. Absolutely right. You have to pay, but you only have to pay what you owe. And because we were never, many of us, I can't speak for everybody, but because many of us were never taught what I'm talking about, or sat down and had a conversation with someone, or listened when it was being said, maybe you've heard this before, we don't really understand how this system works. But we know we go to work and we get taxed. Federal taxes are anywhere between 23 to 33%, something like that. Well, excuse me, all taxes, 23 to 33%. That's state, federal, and FICA. So you're losing about 1/3 of your money to taxes. Money that you worked for, money that you traded time for, money that you probably added into your budget, money that you said, hey, I want a house. And when they financed your house, they financed you at 100% of your check. Money that when you wanted a car and they financed your car, they financed you at 100% of your check. Yet you only bring home 70% of your check due to taxes. Why am I talking about taxes? Because as a home-based business owner, you can legally, morally, and ethically lower your taxes to the lowest limit. For all the business owners out there, who are currently operating in a business and you understand profit and loss, you understand record keeping, you understand the purpose of it, I want you to also understand what your tax bracket is right now and then work your way backwards to lower your taxable income. If you don't have a professional that can assist you in tax planning, that's going to be essential because you're going to start off just like everybody else. And if you're not doing it monthly or quarterly, or you don't have any type of plan or any type of roadmap, you can end up owing just as much taxes as somebody who has a job. But let's go back to this job. You got a job and you're getting taxed heavily. And all you see is you losing 30% of your money. So you say, you know what? I got a fix for that. I'm going to go get a second job. You just put yourself in a higher tax bracket and you're getting taxed twice. That means you're hustling backwards. For the other person that says, hey, you know what? I'm going to start crafting. I'm going to cut some grass on the side. I'm going to be a handyman or a handywoman, whatever the case. And I'm going to bring in some extra money. You getting that money under the table, that money's still taxable. Whether you report it or not, it's taxable. And if for some reason somebody's looking over your fence and in your back door, then you can get audited and you got to explain all the money that you didn't report. Money under the table is still taxable. To all you people that's doing side hustles, that's documenting or halfway documenting, but you're not set up properly, you got to think about it. Can you really write off the things that you are writing off? Business, finances, having a better financial outlook on life, it's about strategies. And a home-based business is one of the best strategies that you can have. So I'm going to take a pause for a minute and acknowledge everybody who's coming on here. Thank y'all for jumping on. I appreciate it. I know y'all could have been anywhere else, but y'all decided to see what was going on. To anybody who is watching and waiting on me to do something, press or something like that, I'm not doing that today. It's Business Saturday. I'm going to do this for me. This is my time, and I want to share this with you guys. We are going to be going live. Excuse me. I correct that. We're going to be going on a Zoom call tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a Zoom. That means that you have to have a link. You have to register on that link. If you want to get access to that call, go to our Facebook. Go to our Facebook. Do not comment on here because I'm not going to go back to this live. Go to our Facebook. Do not comment on here because I can't even see it anyway. Go to our Facebook. There's going to be a post that talks about the first post that you come up and see. It's going to be a post that talks about business and about the meeting tonight on Zoom at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is free. We talk about information. We talk about sharing. We talk about gatekeeping. But it's not that people are gatekeeping. It's that people are lazy and they want what they want. They only want the information that they want. They don't want the information that's going to be helpful. They want the stuff it's like a kid that likes cake or a kid that likes sweets. You only want the candy. You don't want the vegetables. So you got to want the vegetables too. All right. So you get access to that. It takes place at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. It's a Zoom call. You got to register. You comment what you're supposed to comment on the post, and I give you the link. This is the Blank Spot. We're Sublimation Blanks, a t-shirt transfer supplier. We're located just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. Paper is on sale, 30% off until it is gone. We got our kits, our mini starter kits on sale, 20% off. Okay. And you can actually go here and you can view that. Home-based businesses. Why should you have a home-based business? How much money can you make in a home-based business? Learning how to ask the right questions or the best questions is going to be beneficial to you. All right. We got Jackie popped on, Perkley popped on, and we have Norma. Thank you for jumping on. And Tamara, appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for jumping on. If you're just jumping on, drop that city and state. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Okay. Let me know what you're tuning in from. You have to link in. I'm not going to talk about specifics. We're going to talk about business. So bounce back queen if you're a business owner, or if you're someone that has a job and you're tired of overpaying, you're tired of struggling, if or even if you know somebody, go to the Facebook page, comment what you need to comment, and then I'm gonna send you the information. It's free. You're in Columbia, that's what's up. It's free. Tamika, you knew. Thanks for jumping on. Okay, so knowing the better questions to ask is going to be more beneficial. It's not about how much money you can make, but it's about how much money you can keep. How many craft aiders are you out there watching right now? The super craft aiders. I'm talking about super duper craft aiders. They're very popular. They got their own brand. They are showing you how to do everything. They got your DIY queens, and they got your DTF kings, and they got your sublimation gurus, and they got your the screen print people, and you got all these people that's showing you how to do stuff with your hands. You got your content creators that's telling you, hey, to post consistently and all this other BS. But how many of them are breaking it down to you and telling you how to keep the money that you make? I'll wait. Because for all of you guys who have a job and don't have a business on the side and understand how to leverage it and take advantage of it, you're losing. You're losing. But you don't have to lose. Now, I'm not the know-all, do-all. My wife is not the know-all, do-all. All we're going to do is simply share with you what we learned some 11 years ago. That's it. That's all. That's all you can do. All we can do is share with you what we're doing. All we can do is share with you what we're doing. And then from there, you decide if you want to apply it or not. So if you want to attend the Zoom meeting tonight, you have to go to our Facebook. Go to our Facebook. It is the blank spot. It's the blank spot. You can't miss it. You can get to it from that platform. If you're on YouTube, you can get to it from here. Go to our Facebook. The post that you're going to see is going to talk about business. It's the first post. I believe it is the first post. And all you're going to do is comment whatever you need to comment on there. Okay. I'll give you the link. You register. Now, the seating is limited. I did that for a reason, because we want to be able to control the audience. The last meeting we had, we didn't have a full house. Out of all the people that say that they want the information, it's almost like we get amnesia when we leave the live. So I'm going to stop. My wife and I, we're going to stop doing a week in advance. If I'm going to drop something, I'll talk about it in the morning and have it ready for the night. I realize everybody has lives. I realize you got a life, you got kids, you got family, all that good stuff. I realize that. And I'm not going to try to punish anybody for that. But I do know that if you want something, you'll make time. If it's important, we'll make time. If it's not, we're going to make an excuse. Most people are not willing and ready to face. That's all right, Tamika. It's going to be recorded, and then we're going to charge. So we'll keep it affordable. But most people are not willing. Most people are not willing to address the issues that they have. When my wife started this business of financial education and business building back in 2015, we had no idea how far behind we were. We both had great jobs, but we were living paycheck to paycheck and did not even know it. We thought that we had to overpay taxes because we made a lot of money. Because that's what our tax preparers were telling us. Guess who was preparing our taxes? People like Jackson Hewitt, H&R Block. We didn't know any better. And they were just an assembly line, just pushing us through. Oh, you owe this much taxes because you made this much money. No, we owed all them taxes because we didn't have a business. We didn't have any deductions. It's not about how many kids you got. It's not about having a house or a car, although some of those things are deductions. It's not about having a boat. Some of those things are deductions. But it's about having deductions so you can legally lower your taxable income. I can't stress that enough. And I can't stress that enough because a lot of people won't receive what I'm saying. And it's okay. Because we're gonna sing this song probably once a week or once every other week when we have time. We're gonna sing this song and we're gonna share. And whoever picks up, they got it. Who doesn't, we just move on to the next. Home-based business. Writing off your expenses. A lot of people like to say writing off your lifestyle, but writing off the things that you got to pay for anyway, like a portion of your rent or your mortgage, a portion of your utilities, a portion of your meals, a portion of your vehicle expenses, a portion of your maybe toiletries, things like that. And there's so many different things. Where am I getting my information from? IRS.gov. The same place that you can go and look. The only thing is we have a compiled list of items and we can easily share it. That's it. When people talk about folks gatekeeping, what they're really saying is, I don't want to pay for the information. That's what they're really saying. I figured it out. Mr. D Woods, what's going on? I figured it out. I'm not the brightest star in the sky, but I figured it out. When people start whining and going on about gatekeeping, that means what they're saying is they expect you to do everything for free. Well, with the new innovative ways to do research, all this AI, you can go and look it up for yourself. But just like anything else, why reinvent the wheel? I'm willing to share with you what I know for free. What you're going to end up having to pay for are some tools that you need. So if that turns you off, then you shouldn't even come to the live. That's it, But if you are struggling, or if you know someone who's struggling, and you may be struggling and not even know it. I mean, let's take someone who has worked for 40 years. Let's take somebody who's worked for 40 years. And they have paid 1/3 of their check in taxes for 40 years. That means they got taxed about 13 years out of those 40 years, like 13 and a third to be exact, because 39 times 3 is 13. I mean, 13 times 3 is 39, excuse me. You add a year. So 13.3 years, they have paid taxes. Imagine what you can do with that money if you understood how to balance and leverage it. Imagine how having a home-based business and having expenses can put you in a position. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of money. That's a whole lot of money. I don't know why they blocked you out. Probably the same reason they jacking with me. That's a whole lot of money wasted. As a matter of fact, you know what? Getting a refund is pretty much a waste. To all those single parents out there, don't get mad at me about what I'm about to say. Because I already said, if you're missing, you're just coming in. When you know better, that's when you have the ability to do better. But for all the single people, and that was me and my wife, but for all the single people who have a lot of kids and they're claiming and blah, 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 and this, that, and the other, and they're getting these huge checks at the end of the year, some of you are not getting refund checks. Some of you guys are getting credits. For those of you who are married or single with dependents and you're getting a refund check, that means you overpaid all year and you're just getting some of your money back. I just want you to think about this. If the government, or if your job is taking out $500 a month, and I'm gonna make $500 to make it easy. If the job is taking out $500 a month out of your paycheck every month, at the end of 12 months, that's $6,000. Now I don't know about you, but I can use $6,000. Now, if at the beginning of the year, the next year when you file taxes, you only find out that you only owed, out of $6,000, you find out you really only owed $2,000. Well, they kept $4,000 of your money, so they're going to give you your change back. It's like going to the store and your bill being $50, and you give them $100 bill, and you forget your change. and you go back to the store, you get your change. It's the same thing. But society is making us feel, and lack of education is making us feel, and lack of understanding is making us feel like we're getting money. We're getting money. It's not interest. It's not money that has interest on it. It's not anything that can bring you value. That's money that you can either use to pay off debt, pay down debt, or even invest. You can invest it into the market, or you can invest it into a business. Here go John's on YouTube. John said, yes, sir, that can buy me a new printer. Absolutely. It can buy a lot of people a lot of things. It can get your kids some clothes that you need. If your kids need braces, that can help out. If your kid has a car and they're driving, if they got to go to prom, if they're in sports, it's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do. But the fact still remains is we're conditioned to believe one way. And then in that conditioning brings on fear. It brings on fear. And it's the fear of the unknown that keeps people paralyzed. I don't know about you, but I didn't come from a wealthy family. We were right at middle class or right under middle class, but we weren't a wealthy family. And as I got older, all I wanted to do was be middle class. And then I realized once my wife and I got introduced to this information, I realized that there's no such thing as middle class. You're either on your way to getting wealthy or you're on your way to being broke. Somebody gonna get mad about that, but that's the truth. Because the middle class are the ones that's paying taxes. The people who are on their way to being broke or below that poverty level, they don't make enough money to pay taxes. And the people that are above that level, most of them have some type of deductions or expenses that they can write off. So the people in the middle who bragging about I'm middle class, those are the ones that's supporting this country, this great country that we talk about, that was built on the backs of people like you and me. This capitalistic society. And we talk about gatekeeping. I'm giving something right now. I don't see nobody talking about, hey, I'll be there tonight. I don't see nobody talking about, hey, I'm going to the Facebook right now I don't see nobody doing that. If you've already done it, that's cool. But I'm being very transparent and very direct. See, it's not about gatekeeping, y'all. And I got to keep bringing this up because there's always somebody on here that comes on the live, whether it's, previously or in the future, that slick slides and start to say, well, you're keeping too much information to yourself. Do you know how much information we have in our minds? Do you know how much we gather information? Why would I waste my time, effort, and energy on something or somebody who doesn't want to deal or is not ready to move? All we doing is walking around planting seeds. We just dropping seeds. You are a garden. You're a piece of land. Your territory. That seed may take root in you. That may be something that you may not connect with me and my wife and do, but you may decide to do something later on with somebody else. Who knows? Not my decision to make. But I tell you, I see you there, John. I tell you, here's the thing, man. Let me see. John said, yeah, the president's trying to kill the middle class. Ain't no middle class, bro. It's never been a middle class. The middle class was clowns. Oh, this is a lie. This is a lie to go back and look at on YouTube, y'all. The middle class are clowns. I ran into a young lady year before last, because we got another TikTok for that business that I haven't even been monitoring because it got so frustrating where people were asking so many unorthodox questions and wanting information for free that I just stopped dealing with it. But I was on a TikTok on our other business page, and this young lady came on while I was live, and she told me she was like a neuro nurse or something like that. A neuro nurse, like a neurosurgeon, but a neuro nurse. She told me that she made over $300,000 a year. Braggingly told me that she made over $300,000 a year. And you know what the first thing I heard when she said that? All I heard was, you paying a lot of taxes. Oh, she got turned on, as a lot of us do. She got turned on to somebody telling her that she needed to create an LLC. But just creating an LLC is not creating a business. That's an entity. Because a business is something that has products and services. What are your expenses? What are your write-offs? Don't let me get started on the content creators. I'm coming. Content creators, I'm coming. She was paying about 40% of taxes because that's her tax bracket. But she was comfortable with it. What's 40% of 300,000, y'all? Real quick. Anybody? That's like $120,000, right? 40% of 300,000, that's like $120,000. Imagine making $300,000 and paying $120,000 in taxes. And that's not a flex. That is not a flex. So now let's move on to the content creators. I know y'all hear me talking about content creators a lot, and a lot of y'all probably think I'm bagging on the content creators, but I'm not. I really want to talk nice to us. No, I'm gonna talk nasty. I'm gonna talk numerically nasty, because this is something that a lot of us need to hear. I'm not against content creation. As a matter of fact, this right here is content creation, not for this platform per se, but this right here is content creation. Okay. I have nothing against content creation. We create content for our business, but I'm not a content creator. I don't have the charisma. I don't have the patience, nor do I have the platform to be a content creator. However, the reason why I stay on content creator so much is because of this lady. She's passed away now. She was a granny or grandma. I can't remember the lady's name, but she was on YouTube and Facebook all the time. And she made a lot of content. She was an elderly sick lady. I believe she had cancer. And hopefully TikTok don't ding me for saying cancer. I said it again. Oops. But she was sick. She ended up passing away. But she made a lot of money through her content. And unbeknownst to her family that kept pushing her to do the content, it was an older Black lady. Unbeknownst to her family who was pushing her to do the content, they had no understanding or idea of business. So they were getting these checks from TikTok and from Facebook, probably YouTube too. They were getting these checks. Auntie Fee. Thank you, Leanne. I appreciate it. Auntie Fee. She's getting these checks. No, not Auntie Fee. It's an older lady. I think Auntie Fee is somebody else. But anyway, she was getting these checks. And these checks were coming in the form of full payment. See, the reason why a lot of us are, that's it, Dara, holla. That was her. Thank you, I appreciate it. That's right, holla. She was getting these checks, and the checks that she was getting were full payment. For example, when social media pays you, they pay you as a 1099 contractor. You're going to get all the money up front, but you are responsible for your taxes and fees and all the other stuff. All right. Content creators, I'm talking to y'all right now. Thanks for the gift. I'm talking to y'all right now. This is one for you. If you don't know, you're going to hear it. But if you already know, share it with somebody. When you get your content creation check, no matter what platform it's on, it's going to come in the form of all of your money. So let's say you're making $5,000 a month. Okay. Grand Rise. It's been a minute. Is that Reese Cup? It's been a minute. So you get $5,000 from one of your platforms. You owe self-employment taxes. See, if you have a job, you're going to pay half of that, and your job pays the other half. I believe it's like 7.26% or something like that. 7.65%. Yeah, because it's like 15.3. So you're going to pay 7.65%, and your job is going to pay the other half. Well, when you have self-employment or you are a business, you're responsible for all of those taxes. So let's say 15% of $5,000. Anybody? Real quick. What's 15% of 5,000? We know that 10% is 5,000. So you're talking about $7,500, right? I mean, $750. Is $750? Did I say that right? 10% is $500. I'm sorry, I'm going so fast. 10% is $500, and 15% would be $750. I'm sorry. 15% of $5,000, $750. Okay. Thank you. Now, let's say you made $50,000. That's when it starts to get real. You make $50,000 from a platform. That means you owe $7,500 in self-employment taxes. If you're not putting that money away every month or every quarter into into some type of interest-bearing account, so that when it's tax time, you have that money, or if you don't have any deductions to lower those expenses, what you gonna do? See, go create content. Go create content, they said. Content creation is the way to go, they said. But you don't have any other product besides this and your face. You're gonna write off your mouth? What you writing off, the words that you speak? Then somebody smart comes along and says, you know what? And they had to pay a lot of money back in taxes. Then somebody smart comes along and says, well, you know what? I'm good. I love it when people say they're good. I love it when people say they're good, because that means they no longer need my information. They no longer need to hear what I got to say. But if you have a camera crew and you have somebody editing and you have this and you have that, that's a great start. That means you're either outsourcing or you're employing people. That's a great start. But what do you have that's tangible that you can write off? The same thing, and I'm off the content creators. That's why it's important that you create a business through your content creation. Okay? That's the nugget. It's important that you create a business off of your content creation. The same thing for all these digital digital creators, digital product sellers. All these digital product sellers. All these digital product sellers. Hey, do digital products. Do white labeling. Do this, do that. And what if it takes off? It takes off. And all you got to write off at the end of the year is a website. Because all people are doing is hitting your website and downloading. I mean, these questions, these are serious, legitimate questions. And all these craftators out there that are telling you to do all these things, they're not following up with the how to protect your money. They're not following up with how to keep money that you make. They're not. You know why? Because they probably can't explain it. Or if they're in the infancy stages of their business or their operation, they don't know how to do it themselves. Or they just got somebody that they're paying to do it, hoping and praying that they don't Steve Harvey them. Y'all know what happened with Steve Harvey, right? The comedian, $22 million in taxes that he owed because his tax person hemmed him up. Because we're so busy trying to make the money that we never pause for a second to learn how to keep the money that we make. Which brings me back to the beginning of the live when I said a home-based business is the best business to have, and you have to understand how to leverage it and take advantage of it. You may not make six figures in business. However, you can write off your expenses and keep more of those tax dollars. That's $6,000 that I mentioned earlier. You can keep more of that $6,000, and instead of having a $2,000, instead of giving them $6,000 throughout the year, and them giving you $4,000 back because you overpaid, you may be able to work it out to where you can keep the whole $6,000 because you wrote off your expenses. You feel me? And now you just got a tax fund check because you are a business owner. Not because you did anything slick. Yes, Albert. Not because you did anything sly. Not because you flipped anything. Not because you went out here and you talked greasy to somebody and you was popping your neck and smacking your lips and rolling your head and your eyes. Not because you was with the homeboys and the homegirls, but because you sat down like an adult and you listened to understand instead of listen to reply. You didn't take offense and try to defend your situation, but you tried to listen and try to see what you can use to apply to your situation. See, I wish there was a person on here that thought I was a gatekeeper right now. See, the person that's keeping information from you, they may be saving you. As a matter of fact, those craft daters that's out there that's not sharing this, they may be saving you because they're probably going to share the wrong thing. This information, like any other skill set or craft, has to be learned, has to be used, operated, perfected. That's how you get good at it. That's one of the reasons, Tamara. You know the other reason? The other reason is because no integrity. Nowadays, people don't have a lot of integrity. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's one of the reasons. Let's see. Oh my God, I love the knowledge you're sharing. It's so awesome to listen to someone who tells the truth. Real talk. I appreciate it. See, there are so many things that you can write off as a home-based business. Absolutely. And we're going to talk about some of them tonight. We're going to offer you guys a product. We're going to break that product down in half, offer you guys a service that you guys can actually use. But if you already know, you already know. But there's nothing wrong with a refresher. But there's so many things, so many different things that you can take advantage of as a business owner, as a home-based business owner, until it kind of makes you want to kick yourself in the hind parts and say, man, I need to just stop talking about I'm doing this on the side. And all I need to do is get a couple of things in order. The first thing you got to get in order is say it with your mouth. I am a business owner. Say it with your mouth. I am self-employed. Now, understand that I have to do record keeping. I must do record keeping. I must track my expenses. And then understand at tax time, before tax time, I must find someone who understands my type of business or my type of self-employment so they can help me to successfully write off the expenses that pertain to my operation. That was 3 things. Say it, actually do it, do the work, and then find a responsible professional that can assist. That wasn't hard, was it? The hardest thing is to let go of what you already know. And that's also the most expensive lesson. I used to say that the most expensive lesson is what you don't know. But sometimes the most expensive lesson is what you know or what you think you know. I run into a lot of I already knows out there. I'm thankful that I wasn't the person that I already knew. Hey, Lamar's, how you doing? I'm thankful that I wasn't the person that felt like I already knew, and I listened. I listened to understand. So, guys, you're just jumping on tonight. Tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be doing a Zoom. In order to get the information, you have to go to our Facebook, okay? When you go to our Facebook, I'll let you see what the Facebook looks like. That's what the Facebook looks like. So if you're not on Facebook, you see me live right there. That's what our Facebook looks like, okay? And then you're going to scroll to it's going to be the second one now. It's going to be the second one. And you see what it says to comment? That's it. Not seeing the link. Here's our Facebook. And all you're going to do is scroll now to the second one because the live is going to be the first one. That right there. Not everyone will make 6+ figures in business. And you got to read the post. It ain't long. All you got to do is go to Facebook. That's all you got to do. I tell you what, too, right? This is another downfall. This is another downfall of a lot of people on social media. What in the you doing on TikTok? You found me on TikTok. You probably found some other people. I ain't sharing nothing else on TikTok. This is all you get. So that means you got to follow us on Facebook. You got to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is free. You got to get off of TikTok and go to a platform, which is going to be a private platform, to actually learn. Got to be willing to change your mindset, your behaviors, your mindset, the thing. So let's talk about TikTok and how TikTok has helped hundreds of thousands, maybe even more businesses to grow. I'm excited about TikTok. Somebody told me while we were on the plane coming back from our vacation, and they said, younger person, they said TikTok is one of the fastest growing social media platforms around. As long as you get a TikTok shop, if you have a business, as long as you get a TikTok shop and you run your products through their affiliate program. That's what it is. It's an affiliate program. How do I know? We've done it. We've done it before. As long as you run your products through the affiliate program and you don't say website and you don't talk about, going to your link, they're happy. If you're a content creator, they love you. I got you, Darlene. If you're a content creator on TikTok, they love you. But if you're an independent business like us and you choose not to do TikTok shop and you start talking about your products and services and you don't have a TikTok shop, they're going to ding you. So TikTok is a fishing expedition for us. They say, hey, you know what? If they're on that platform, sell to them. They want to buy, sell to them. I ain't going to be able to do it. Because I realized with TikTok coming on the scene, I realized, like a lot of other people are starting to realize, there are some huge drawbacks to only having a TikTok, a huge drawback to only having an Etsy, a huge drawback to having only an affiliate platform. And the drawbacks are this. If you directly or indirectly do something that they don't like, they shut you down. Remember, we're talking about business. I ain't talking about side hustles. I'm not talking about lazy people who don't want to get a website. I'm not talking about people who are afraid to get a website. I'm not talking about people who don't want to do the work to drive traffic to your platform. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about the people who are doing it. I'm talking about the people who are doing it. Davon, how you doing? Thanks for jumping on. Thanks, John. Appreciate you, man. Take care. Have a great day. I'm talking about the people who are actually driving traffic to their platform. People who are doing things outside of the norm. People who are trying to build a business and a brand. There's nothing wrong with doing affiliate marketing and doing affiliate work on affiliate platforms. But here's the problem. You run all of your sales through that affiliate platform, and then their standards or policies change. You're not aware of it, and you do something wrong, and you lose your whole market. Now what? That what I just said is not going to touch a lot of people. You know why? Because people do what they don't do what they want to do. I got this platform because they boost up my audience and all this, that, and the other. You are working for that platform. A content creator, if they don't create content, they're not going to get paid. See, you don't get paid off the work that you did. You don't get paid today off the work that you did yesterday. You only get paid off the work that you did today when you're in business. That's how it is. So now, we're going to pause for the calls. If you do sublimation, I'm gonna look over here on TikTok, and I'm also gonna look on this Facebook and YouTube, and I'm gonna see how many views go down. I'm gonna see how many people leave because I'm not advertising my business. I'm gonna see, because I've given a whole bunch of information. Now it's time to ask for the money. Okay, just as if you were on a content creators platform and you would have been dropping gifts all over the place on TikTok, just as you on YouTube or Facebook, and you would have been liking and sharing that platform. Now it's time to ask for the money. I'm not asking for a handout. I'm not asking for a GoFundMe. I'm not asking for any of that. All I'm saying is to go check us out and shop with us. Here's the deal. This is how you shop with us. That's how you shop with us. Okay? If you do sublimation, I want you to type a number 2 in the comments. Type a number 2 if you do sublimation. Because we got a huge sale on our paper. 30% off. All of our 100 packs of paper. 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 14, 11 by 17, 13 by 19. So nobody on Facebook and YouTube do sublimation. There we go. Come on in. Only one person on TikTok out of the 32 or 33 does sublimation. That's how I know we had a wrong audience. That's how I know people just come on. 30% off. No coupon code needed. No minimum. All right. This sale is going to last until the paper's gone. We are rebranding ourselves. We're rebranding our paper. Okay. We're going to make it very user-friendly for people to use it. You got 2 in your cart? That's my girl. I like that. We're making it very simple and easier for people to use it. I did a comparison. I did another one this morning. I made up another video this morning about our paper against the #1 selling paper in North America. Yes, we do, Jules. You got to go here. Everything you need to find out is right here. I appreciate you asking, but you can also go to the link up in the description. If you can't remember this, we're connected up here in that link tree. So the great thing about it is you can find how to shop with us no matter what platform you're on. No matter what platform you're on. So don't follow me on here, Jules. Jules, don't follow me on here. Follow me on Facebook or YouTube. Please and thank you. Because you're going to lose me on here. I'm not going to be on here giving it out. Okay? I'm just being real with you. I'm going to be on here, but not as often. So hit us up on YouTube and our Facebook, and you can stay connected with us there because we go live there almost every day. Let's see. I have done it, but my sublimation printer broke down. I literally have to get a new one. That's cool. No worries, Jack. No worries, Jack. And you're already shopping with us. But what I'm saying is this. After you give a delivery, and this is another part of business. After you deliver, because a lot of people come on just asking for you to buy my stuff. After you give value, you always start with value. And I think I've given a lot of value. After you give value, now guess what? It's okay to ask. We attract a lot of people who are new, a lot of crafters who are new. We need some of you guys that are crafters who know some of these heavy hitter businesses that need the support that we have. Because I guarantee you, people who are doing things in larger quantities, they still need suppliers. They may be able to buy their tumblers. They may be able to even find some shirts. But it's rare that you're going to have people that are going to be able to find good sublimation paper. We know that. Even the good sublimation shirts, we know that as well. So if you know somebody, support us by sharing our information. Do that. That'd be helpful. Okay. So tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going hot on our Zoom. The way you get there is go to the Facebook. Go to our Facebook page, and you're going to hit the second video. The first one's going to be me going live. The second one is going to be me talking about business, and you can go and comment on that, and we'll send you the information. Okay? It's going to be about 45 minutes of information and about 10 to 15 minutes of Q&A. You ain't required to buy anything, but you're going to get an offer. That's just how it is. For all of the people who like to share information and you don't like to gatekeep and all that other bull, and I say bull because it is. When I start thinking about it, it is. People don't understand it. But for all of you guys who just love to share, appreciate you. I'll let you in. For all those people who like to share our stuff. Share that post. Share it with somebody who's struggling, living paycheck to paycheck. Share it with that single mom with those kids who got a deadbeat dad. Share it with that single dad who's got kids who got a deadbeat mom. Share it with that single person that's living paycheck to paycheck and struggling because the economy is so jacked up. The benefits of owning a home-based business are tremendous. And knowing how to leverage that home-based business is how you're going to learn how to become financially free, financially independent, and be able to build wealth. The reason why people are not talking about that is because it's a touchy subject. I can't be responsible. I won't be responsible for your failure. But if you succeed, it's going to be because I dropped the seed. Here it is right here. If we never come into contact with anybody talking about what I'm talking about, and we never look for it, it's going to be a long life. But I was in my early 40s, and my wife was in her late 30s when we first got introduced to this information, which gave us the confidence and the financial stability to start a business in the middle of a pandemic. Nah, we ain't driving no Range Rover. We don't have no 10-bedroom house. I'm not walking around with name brand this and name brand that on. Nah, because that's not a flex. That's foolish. People can do what they want to with their money. That's a fact. But wealth is not loud. Wealth whispers. Wealth is quiet. And that's somebody who's never had anything. That's somebody who's never had anything. That's somebody who's just gonna buy. If you're just coming on, if you have not done so, drop your city and state. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel, or you make sure you go to the Facebook to watch this video again. As I stated before, we are going hot on our Zoom. Going on our Zoom tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to talk about some things about having a home-based business and some things that can help you to stop living paycheck to paycheck. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate it. We're not talking about that, though. We're talking about benefits of home-based business. But thank y'all for jumping on. Let me see. We'll be there. Will there be a replay? Yes, it is going to be a replay, but it's going to be a charge. It's going to be a cost. But we're going to keep it low, okay? We're going to keep it low. But everybody who is on the live, we're most likely going to give you a copy of the replay for free. So anyway, do me a favor, guys. Like I said, like the video, share the video, go like our platforms. If you're on TikTok and you found us on TikTok, I just use this as a fishing expedition, okay? Go over to our Facebook and our YouTube, because I can't say certain things on TikTok without getting violations. So go to our YouTube, our Facebook, also our Instagram. You can go over there and check us out. You're welcome. Thank you for asking. See you later, Tamara. And I appreciate you guys for jumping on. Know y'all could have been anywhere else, but y'all decided to see what we had going on. Once again, our paper is on sale. I'm going to be talking about it. I'm going to beat it down. Paper's on sale. 30% off. No coupon code needed. All right. No coupon code needed. 30% off. That means this pack of paper is going to run you about $16 and some change. 100 sheets of paper. Got 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 14, 11 by 17, and 13 by 19. That's all I got, y'all. Like I always say, when you know better, that's when you have the ability to do better. And the only knowledge that's powerful is properly applied knowledge. I will see each and every one of you guys at the top, because there's entirely too many people struggling unnecessarily at the bottom. Peace.